Hi, y'all. It's me, chaos coordinator, storyteller, and creator of Unfiltered, Unhealed. My work centers on the stories so many people live through but rarely speak about, and the complicated, ongoing process of healing while learning to raise the next generation differently than we were raised. I share the messy, unfinished parts of growth, not from perfection, but from lived experience and a relentless desire for the generations coming after us to break patterns instead of inheriting them. For most of my life, writing was the dream that waited while survival came first. Years were spent navigating instability, loss, complicated relationships, and motherhood, while slowly recognizing the generational patterns shaping my choices, survival instincts, and identity. Living with complex PTSD means part of my history remains fragmented. And today, I reconnect with lifelong friends to piece together moments from my most traumatic years, chapters I lived through but cannot fully remember myself. So many times, I believe this is it. Now life will finally calm down. But calm and predictable has never been part of my story. Since 2001, I have buried dozens of friends, some family in every way except blood, lost to addiction and overdoses. People I grew up with, people I loved deeply, people who were supposed to grow old beside me. The losses never stopped. Grief became familiar. Survival became instinct. Decades later, the curveballs still come. The difference now is that I am better equipped. I am still healing and still learning. Today's version of me is no longer ashamed of the woman I had to be to survive. I understand her. I have compassion for her. I owe who I am today to her. I see pieces of that younger version of myself in so many children, kids learning survival before safety. I strive to be the adult I never had, and most days I fall short. But every morning I face the next day, willing to try again, committed to becoming a slightly better human than yesterday. In hindsight, I'm amazed I survived the early 2000s. My life mirrored the beginning of too many tragic headlines about young girls who disappeared or never make it home. In 2003, I became a teen mother, still naive about the world and reckless with my own safety, yet suddenly responsible for protecting a life more important than my own. Based on what I understood growing up, I believed providing financially meant I was succeeding as a parent, and I did whatever I had to make that happen. In 2005, life forced a reckoning. Facing homelessness again, I made the impossible decision of adoption for my second child, an act rooted not in abandonment, but in love, survival, and knowing I was incapable then of being a mother of two. I was barely a mother at all. In 2007, I met Pepe. We married in 2014, welcomed my third daughter, fled in 2015, and finalized our divorce in 2017. In 2020, I finally clawed my way into home ownership 1 month after losing my brother, one of the only people who carried shared memories of my earliest years, when it was just the two of us trying to make sense of the world. His death reshaped my understanding of memory, grief, and time. By then, my grief already held an entire generation. I often say I have an army in the sky, watching, protecting, and reminding me to keep going. My brother's death was the moment I stopped waiting and started documenting everything before more memories disappeared. What began as personal reflection has grown into a developing nonfiction book series and the Unfiltered, Unhealed podcast, a space for honest conversations about survival, motherhood, trauma, relationships, loss, and growth. Because healing doesn't happen in silence, it happens when the stories we were taught to hide are finally being told.